Suicides in LGBTQ Communities by Datevika Razian, Jessica Clayton, Leonardo Ibarra, and Raquel Loberg-Green.
The LGBTQ community has always been under constant scrutiny. Every move an individual within this community is examined and judged throughout their entire lifetime. The video, For Anyone Who Has Been Told It Is Just a Phase, highlights several major issues individuals within the LGBTQ community face. Society judges boys for overtly showing their emotions, kissing other boys, and are often called fag if they live outside gender roles. Girls are ridiculed if they get short haircuts. There is often a sense of isolation due to these types of rejections as kids. When LGBTQ individuals seek out others who identify in similar ways, will they have the chance to feel comfortable in their own skin? However, as society puts a lot of pressure on individuals to live within the norms, and this community is often challenged, and consequently, it leads to many cases of suicides. Throughout the years, LGBTQ members have been subjected to violence, discrimination, rejection, and other social injustices in person, from policy, from the media, and social media. Many people are unable to handle this outward pressure. It was not until 1973 when the APA, the American Psychiatric Association, took out the listing of homosexuality as a disturbance of personality in their Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Even in scientific research, it was still seen as wrong just only 44 years ago. Sadly, over the years, the number of attempted suicides and/or self-harm have and will continue to increase if something is not done. Clinical psychologist Alan Downs, author of The Velvet Rage, discusses one of the main ways gay men avoid their feelings of shame is suicide. Downs describes the stage as them being overwhelmed by shame of either coming out or not coming out. He goes on to describe that there are harmful effects of not coming out and continuing to live without being their true self.
When they tell you your love is just a phase, tell them you do not like the word just. You are not just anything.
How is one supposed to accept oneself when all they hear is what they are feeling is not real, that what they are going through is just a phase, and if they continue down this wrong path, they'll be directed towards the right one, and they will be fixed. The word phase can be harmful to a person. To them, this is not just a phase. To them, this is their life. If a person hears that, they might start to wonder why they are not coming out of it. The causes of suicides within this community emerge from these fears. Their identity is not just a phase.
The causes and conditions that lead to suicides within the LGBT community are broad. Within the community, there can be similar and different causes per identity. LGB individuals are all led to suicide in similar ways. They differ slightly among demographics, mental disorders, and individual and institutionalized discrimination. Suicides among people of color within the LGBTQ communities also face similar causes, as well as added racism. The causes leading trans and queer individuals to suicidal behavior is less known than the other identities. Research among LGB individuals shows a strong correlation between the age of an individual's suicide and their age of coming out. Males have a higher suicide rate than females, which is likely caused by an increase of social pressure to be straight. Research focused on class demographics found that LGB men with lower economic status were more likely to commit suicide than those in higher brackets. LGB youth are 6 times more likely to develop and have multiple mental disorders such as depression, anxiety, misconduct, and alcoholism and addiction. These disorders lead to higher suicide rates. In addition to and separate from mental illness, the elevated rates are caused by individual and institutionalized discrimination against LGB individuals. These acts are characterized by social stigma, workplace prejudice, policy discrimination, and bullying. Less research has been focused on people of color within the LGBTQ community. However, there is an increase in suicidal thoughts, attempts, and rates, especially before the age of 20 in Black and Latino individuals. This is likely due to added institutionalized and individualized racism, as well as more traumatic experiences coming out. Latino youth experienced a higher percentage of familial rejection, leading to an 8-fold suicide rate to members who did not experience this type of rejection during adolescence. Research about suicides is limited among the transgender community. It was either volunteer-based or from individuals seeking medical transitions before surgery or from hormonal treatments. One volunteer survey found that 1/3 of the study's population size reported having one or more suicide attempts. This was likely caused by frequent rejection from family, increased discrimination in schools, workplace, lack of protection with political policies nationwide, and less access to medical care, including mental health services, due to discrimination of employers and lack of employment opportunities.
Even on the days when you hang just a sliver in the sky,
When it feels like you are holding on for dear life to this rock, like you are in a death grip tango with the sun. Hold on. Because I've seen people I love starve themselves out of the sky.
Her name is Sarah.
Signed, Andrew.
LGBTQ suicides have a widespread effect on families, peers, and LGBTQ community. In 2015, Leela Alcorn, a transgender teen, committed suicide. Leela's suicide became viral on social media. The hashtag Leela Alcorn was created to support all transgender people. Leela's mother wrote about her on Facebook. However, her mother used incorrect pronouns and her birth name, Josh. To show allegiance to Leela's true identity, some individuals reposted her mother's posts and used female pronouns and the name Leela. Since her death, parents of transgender children have sent Trans Ohio photos and letters saying how much the tragedy has shaken them. A reaction to LGBTQ studies in schools led to a curriculum policy change in Vancouver, Canada. The policy issued the use of LGBTQ topics in their curriculum to help students understand the impacts of homophobia and transphobia in society. Parents of the Burnaby School District organized a rally against these changes. They acknowledged the fact that suicide rates are much higher in LGBTQ students. However, they believe that the option to teach LGBTQ issues should be left to families to decide. This backlash among the parents shows deeply ingrained discrimination in a heteronormative society. Carl Joseph Walker Hoover, an 11-year-old boy, committed suicide due to physical and emotional abuse by his peers. Many cases, including Carl's, are a result of bias-motivated violence targeting people who identify as or are perceived to be queer. Carl's mother testified before the Massachusetts Legislature's Joint Committee on Education about the bullying epidemic. Carl's mother's response was aimed to change legislation to protect the queer community from bullying. This is an important issue for suicide prevention of future LGBTQ children.
And if anyone ever tries to tell you that you love wrong,
If anyone waits for you to backwards become yourself,
treats your queerness as anything other than the infinite universe of beautiful possibilities that it is, tell them that you're sorry that they'd rather live in darkness than learn to love your light, learn to love your flicker flash irradiation, learn to love you full moon.
As seen throughout our presentation, suicide within the LGBT community is unfortunately a daily event without sign of stopping. There are various sources that help prevent suicide incidents. For example, there are organizations that help individuals cope with depression, such as Safe Zone Trained. With this program, staff in schools and companies go through LGBTQ awareness workshops, and they serve as allies for the people within this community. This organization helps prevent suicides by providing a safe place for those who identify as LGBTQ to speak about their issues if their home is not safe. Creating public awareness of the serious suicide epidemic in the LGBTQ community through public forums within society is another valuable way to prevent suicides caused by discrimination. This approach helps people take action to form support groups like the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project, along with other organizations, have 24/7 hotlines that give support to LGBTQ and other LGBTQ folks seeking a happier life. An indirect way to help prevent suicides within this community is by continuing to portray LGBTQ communities and individuals within the media. This allows people to see that LGBTQ lifestyle is just like any other lifestyle and can open more acceptance into people.